Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about why narcissistic people tend to answer a question with a question. People usually ask a question because they want to learn something, they want to understand something or someone better, they want more knowledge of a situation. A narcissist doesn't want you to understand. They want to have things their own way. And people in life can answer a question with a rhetorical question. It's an everyday thing that people can do. Often why when narcissistic people do it, we are the ones left questioning and doubting ourselves and not them. It's all in the intentions behind the behaviour. When people tend to ask a rhetorical question, it's usually to make a statement or to get another person to think, to gain some form of a closure on a conversation, which can be what a narcissist's intentions are. For example, if a child comes to you and says, "I'd really like this new video game," and you're busy paying the bills and juggling life, you might turn around and say, "Do you think I'm made of money?" And it's not really for the child to answer the question. Most children would probably say yes, but it's not for the child to answer the question. You're making a statement rather than gaining that conversation with the child. It's not done to hurt or upset the child. It's not done to rationalise anything away. It's just something that some people do because they haven't got the finances available, or they're trying to teach the child responsibility of earning money. There's various reasons why people use rhetorical questions. With a narcissist, they can be coming from the same place. They can be making a statement. When they come at you with, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?" They're making a statement that they don't want to do anything about it, they're not going to do anything about it, and it's your problem. And if you continue the conversation with them, they're going to make you feel worse. Or they're trying to make you think that, "Oh, I need to do something about this," because they're not going to do something about this. More often than not, when around narcissistic people, they're coming from persuasive intentions. They're trying to influence you into thinking how they want you to think, which suits them. They're trying to persuade you to go down their route of questioning and not your route of questioning. They are becoming the questioner to take control of the situation, to distract you from the original topic of conversation, to distract you from the question you asked them by them firing questions back at you. A defense mechanism to protect themselves because they don't feel like they should explain or justify themselves to you. They feel like you're the one that's creating the problems, therefore you need to answer to them. So when they're firing these questions back at you, they're trying to influence you to join their reality, their version of events, so that they can get away with their behaviour, so that they can persuade you that they are in the right and you are in the wrong. And often they lack sincerity. They are insincere people. They are exploitative people that are out to get their own needs met. Sometimes when a narcissist answers your question with a question, they're not actually looking for you to respond to the question. They're looking to shut down the conversation. And if they don't manage to shut down the conversation, if you do respond and respond in a way that brings their behaviour into question again, this is when they're going to go on the attack. This is when they're going to do all they can to bait you into reacting to them, often emotionally, so that they can twist it and blame it on you. What about you? Look at how you're behaving, so that you're questioning your behaviour and the original topic of conversation has disappeared because they've taken control of the conversation. They can question you based on your character. You can ask them something like, oh, where have you been? Just to create an everyday conversation, not to be mean, not to invalidate them, not to criticize them, just to create a conversation. And they can turn it straight back to you because they've usually been somewhere that you might not approve of, like with your replacement. So they can switch it straight back onto you about, what about last week when you went there? What about when you didn't tell me that you was doing this? So you're instantly then on the defensive. You're instantly explaining yourself to them. You're instantly justifying yourself to them, and they're getting away with what they are doing to you. A bit like when they promise you something to get their need met in the present. They have no intentions in following through with this promise. Yet when you bring it up in an everyday conversation, oh, you said we'd go here. They're going to turn around and go, oh, it always has to be about you, doesn't it? So you're the one left thinking, well, is it always about me? Am I being selfish? Am I making it about me? Rather than the fact that they made a promise and then without laying a finger on you, they broke that promise. Or when you've asked them if they would help you with something and they've still not helped you with something, and then you remind them and they come at you with, do you think I'm stupid? So you're left thinking, well, no, I wasn't accusing you of being stupid. I was just asking you about this thing that you promised to do that you haven't done, and you feel like you're upsetting them. So you rein yourself back in and they get away without doing the things they said they'd do. Or they can just come at you with, oh, I forgot you're perfect, aren't you? It just leaves you confused. It just leaves you full of questions. You know yourself that you're not perfect, so you end up trying to explain yourself to the very person who is unwilling to explain themselves to you. They don't want you to understand them. They want to influence you into misunderstanding them, and they want to persuade you into believing that you're the one that's causing all the problems, not them. They can fire those questions back that cause that reasonable doubt within your mind. They can triangulate people. What about your friend? They did this. What about my friend? They did this. So they're questioning you about their friend to try and usually break down one of your boundaries. Just because someone else is willing to do something doesn't mean you should do that thing. You're not the same person. You're not that person. But they want to fire out a question at you to get you to think about how you're behaving. They want to make a statement that they think that that person is willing to do something. When they say the ex would have done something, that person is willing to do something and you aren't willing to do something. More often than not, they're not looking for a debate or a conversation. They're looking for you to change your mind so that they can have everything their own way. They want to create that doubt, that reasonable doubt within your mind so that they get their needs met. The same as when you're going out somewhere and they turn around to you and say, you're not going to wear that, are you? Yes, it is a covert way of saying things. However, it's a way to stop and get you to think. It's a way of them making a statement on a judgment, a statement on the way you dress. It's a way for them to cause that doubt within your mind about how you look and what you're wearing and what you're doing, so that you question what they think of you and not what you think of you. What you're wearing is down to what you feel comfortable in, what you feel happy in, not what anybody else has to say about what you wear. Just like we shouldn't judge other people on what they wear, how they do their hair, how they do their eyebrows, how they talk, how they walk. It's down to that individual person. We are not living their life. Yet we have become a very judgmental society, and we can all do it. It's just a belief system that's been created through the generations. We can all do it because we're raised to believe in one thing. So when we see somebody who believes in another thing, we can then be judgmental about their beliefs instead of learning to understand theirs, respect theirs, and stick to our own. A narcissist might come at you and say, what part of that didn't you understand? When a narcissist is coming to you with their word salad and their gaslighting, there's going to be an awful lot part of that you don't understand, which is exactly where they want you. They want to make a statement that it's your fault for not understanding them, and it's not their fault for throwing the mass word salad at you. It's not their fault for gaslighting you. It's not their fault for lying to you, cheating on you, denying your reality. It's your fault for not understanding them. They're making that statement and they're getting you to think that you're the one with the problem so they can carry on causing your problems. And they can make these statements, they can ask these questions to pull on your emotions, to guilt trip you. What about the children? What do you think they'd think? If you're having a conversation about you wanting to start a new career, but they don't want you to do better. They want you right where they want you. So they want to influence you into not taking that career choice. They want to persuade you into not going for that job. Therefore, they're going to make the statement of what about the children to get you to think that you're the one that's letting the children down so that you don't do the things that you want to do in life so that they can keep you where they want you. And all you might have done is go up and ask them a question of, what do you think about this job? Do you think this job would suit me? You might have just asked them a question. Sometimes with some people, you just have to step back and ask yourself the question, what do I think about this job? Does this job get my passion up? Does this job get me fired up? Is this something I want to do? Do I at least want to try it and give it a go and see how it works? Rather than asking somebody else, because that somebody else isn't you. And when you go to a narcissist with something that's happened and try to have that communication with them, try and have that debate with them, try and find a compromise with them, they're going to turn around and say, why do you always blame me? Oh, I knew it would be my fault. So you feel bad for them and they continue to exploit you. And a narcissistic people are very good at putting in the minimal effort to extract the maximum from you. So they'll do something half-heartedly. And then when you go to approach them, they're going to come at you with, oh, why do I even bother? So you're then trying to pick them up, trying to explain that you appreciate them and you're happy that they're helping you, and you're the one trying to praise them because they've gone into that victim mindset of, why do I even bother? In one way, they're making a statement to themselves of, well, why do I bother when I just want to get my own way? In another method, they're trying to get you to think that they do a lot for you and you're unappreciative of them, so that you give them the praise in the hope that they will do more and they'll often do less. Life's about give and take. When it comes to a narcissist, they give the bare minimum in order to take the maximum. People can say these things. It all depends on the person you're around. A continued pattern of behaviour, whether you can actually communicate with somebody, whether you feel like you're going crazy, whether you feel misunderstood around a person on a continued basis. Communication with most people is key. We can all misread situations. We can all jump to conclusions. We can all get offended. It happens in life. However, if someone is continually bringing you down, they're not the kind of person you want to be around. If someone is continually persuading you and influencing you to live life on their terms so that you no longer feel yourself, they're not the kind of people you want to be around. Any questions you've heard from a narcissist when you've asked them a question, please add that into the comments to build up a sort of glossary for those reading through. When it comes to asking a narcissist a question and they fire a question back at you, recognize whether they're trying to make a statement, whether they're trying to make you think. Recognize what they are trying to avoid by firing a question back at you. If you really would like an answer to the question, you can say to them, we'll discuss that in 1 minute. Can we please just sort this out first, and ask them the question again. You do have to be careful with some because they do take it as criticism and they might receive a narcissistic injury and they might rage out at you. With others, if they're going to keep firing back at you, you can kind of work out that they're not willing to discuss that is who they are as a person, and find the answer within their reaction as to who they are as a person. Because if someone's always going to shut down a conversation, you're never going to be able to have a conversation with them about something. You're never going to find that closure. You're never going to be able to find that communication. It's always going to cycle around. And sometimes when you ask them a question and they fire back a statement, you just have to let them be wrong. Just leave them to it. When they say, are you really going to wear that? You just have to think in your own mind, well, yes, I am, because I'm comfortable. So, yeah, I'm going to wear that. And leave them to it. Leave them to their judgmental opinion. And don't go asking them for their opinion on what you are wearing, because they're going to bring you down. What we have to recognise when it comes to rhetorical questions, when narcissists are making that statement back at us, some rhetorical questions do not need our answer. We do not have to explain, justify, or defend ourselves to those who will not answer the original question. They are trying to influence us, they are trying to persuade us to live life on their terms. They are trying to persuade us to give them everything so that they can leave us with absolutely nothing. Remember, it's all in the intentions behind the behaviour. With good intentions, there's no wrong way or right way to live your life. There is only your way. So go out there, create the day that you deserve, create the life that you deserve. Yes, life gets tough at times, but we find the coping strategies to get us through. If you made it through the toxic relationship, you will make it through recovery. You are enough. Remind yourself that you are enough and you can do this. Henry Ford, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're probably right. So there's no harm in telling yourself that you are enough and you can, and start reprogramming that mindset to work for you and unprogram everything the narcissist planted in there to work against you. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.